After this break. Emirates Stakes champion of 1999 will take a break and be back with the weight signal, the dividends and the presentation to the winning connections after this around Australia on 10. Bonanova striding home to take the victory in the Emirates Stakes over the gallant Umrum, and Nina Haraka getting home to finish very close up in third placing, and the margins there were a neck by a long neck, so it was tight at the end. Time for the trip was 1:38.2. That's 4.2 seconds outside the record, so genuinely we are on a dead track. Weights there, correct weight for those placings after the running of the Emirates Stakes. 6, 3 and 8 are the numbers, brought to you by Maggi. So the dividends, Dan, are now official.
$5.30 and $2.30 the win and place return on Super Tab for number 6 Bonanova, 3 Umrum, $8 and 8 Nina Haraka, $4.40. Third time this preparation she's been placed at Group 1 level. Quinella paid $112.30, Exacta $155.30, the trifecta $2,599.10, and the race-to-race double $35.90. The man who was spot on again where the money was, and the money was for Bonanova, Tim Gossage.
Dan Mielicki was probably, and from my eyes in the last 4 days, clearly the best back winner so far of the carnival. It was a massive go. Bookmakers are stunned by the result of Bonanova. It was a massive tip on course. And Peter Donegan, Leon McDonald trains Umrum, beaten in that last. Some consolation. 2 minutes ago, he won the feature race at Morfordville.
Oh, well, that is some consolation. I'm sure he would have preferred this one, but little fish are sweet too, Tim Gossage, and well done to Tim for tipping us into that information there. What's wrong, Jen?
I'm getting blown away now.
Well, I think the connections at Bonanova probably felt as though they were being blown away because they were really excited. So too was Jimmy Cassidy, the pumper, when he came back to scale. You could see that he took particular delight in that win, and there are some very happy connections, and so they should be too, because there's a lot of money at stake and a lot of prestige at stake in winning a race like that.
She's just been a fabulous mare, hasn't she? Yes, it's got very windy here, I must say. But no, Bonanova, she's just been a great mare, and we hope she's around for a bit longer, because who knows when she's going to go to stud. Shortly we'll have a look at the Village Roadshow welter and the pumper, giving it the salute to the media and the happy owners. Yeah, I think Jimmy enjoyed that as much as the win. And he'll enjoy looking back at the replay of that race and seeing what a beautifully judged race he did ride. Bonanova defeating Umrum and Nina Haraka, 6, 3 and 8. Vetty Veer finishing in 4th placing. La Zagaleta was right on the heels. Dessa's Dream loomed up about the 250, Jen. Strident ran a pretty good race. Caniana wasn't that far away. Then Babetto. Rebel finished 10th, and then down to the others. Blackbean had a lovely trail throughout the race, but just didn't go on. LA Suez ran past a few tired horses, but it was a poor effort, really. Go Flash Go made the pace and dropped out. Yes, he was disappointing for sure. And Northern Drake, Noircia and Pursuits finished at the tail of the field. OK, we're ready for the presentation after the principal race, the Emirates Stakes.
To servicing Melbourne is one of their major international airports. Emirates have been winners of countless awards for being the world's best airline, and we also wish to congratulate them on now being able to add Sydney to their international network. This is Emirates' 2nd year of sponsorship for this day, and I sincerely hope will continue for many years. My congratulations to the winning owner, Mr. Jim Fleming. Please step forward.
Chairman, members of your committee, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Well, it certainly gives me great pleasure to be standing here to win back-to-back Emirates. I'd like to thank Emirates. They're a great sponsor, and to win back-to-back is really topped my carnival off. I'd certainly like to thank Mr. Fleming, Graham Begg. He's one of our star up-and-coming young trainers. He's proved that before, and he's proved it here again today at Flemington. To all Graham Begg's staff, every win is always a team effort, I believe, and I'd like to thank everybody that's contributed. I'd like to have this opportunity to thank everybody that's attended the carnival throughout the last week, to the media, to all the pumper fans out there, thanks very much. Ring-a-ding-ding. I've ended up king today. See you again next year. Thank you.
Ring-a-ding-ding, Pumpers King. Yeah, he lacks a bit of confidence, but when he comes out of his shell, he'll be okay. Jimmy Cassidy, good luck to him. Terrific win there by Jim aboard Bonanova. And here's a man who's earned his money this week, the chairman of stewards, Des Gleeson. Des, thanks for your time. It's been a busy carnival for you.
It's been an extremely busy carnival, Pete, particularly on Tuesday, and we were working till well into the night. In fact, we didn't leave the stewards room until past 9 o'clock, but today it's been very much better today, a lot quieter today.
This is the saddle that Grant Cooksley used in the Melbourne Cup?
Yes, unfortunately Grant Cooksley was dislodged from Ablemaster through no interference at all. He used this saddle, which is a very light saddle. It's a saddle that's been made in Italy, and the offside stirrup leather, which is connected to the saddle there, actually broke. And due to that, he was dislodged from his horse. But it is a small saddle. Grant was having difficulty making the weight, and he did borrow a much lighter saddle, this one. But we are a little bit concerned with these saddles, and they're now barred from being used in Victoria until such time as they've been tested to show that they are safe to use in races.
What would that weigh, Des? Less than 250 grams or something
yes,
like that?
Less than 250 grams. It is an extremely light saddle. They have been used successfully in Hong Kong and Macau, I believe, but we do require further testing before we'll allow them to be used in Australia.
Were you disappointed what happened in the Melbourne Cup?
Well, yes, I've had the press in today, and I've showed the entire running of the Melbourne Cup to the press, and initially with the interference at the 500 metres the first time, that was disappointing. Gary Grills was suspended for a month for causing that interference, and there was a chain reaction back through the field. And then near the winning post the first time, when Central Park moved up outside the worry, the pace did steady. It didn't slow to a walk, but it did steady, and several horses back through the field were checking off the heels of the horses in front of them, and a lot of shuffling took place. And running down the riverside, the English horse, Yavana's Pace, was uncomfortable racing in amongst horses, and it did shift ground on numerous occasions and cause interference to other runners.
Did you find anyone at fault in the incident with the hind?
No, we didn't, and I've explained it to the press and run it in slow motion on a number of occasions for the press. The hind, or Travel Mate rather, came out from behind Central Park and obtained a narrow run between the hind and Central Park. Donegan Josh at that precise time shifted in slightly. It was then brushed on the hindquarters by Zarzabel, which turned its hindquarters in, and Central Park shifted out slightly, and as a result, Travel Mate and the hind were jammed in there for some strides.
And here it is now, and you can see the hind is the horse in the black sleeves.
That's right.
And that's Central Park with the white face, and watch the hind there. Yeah. Gee, he was lucky to stay up, wasn't he?
He was, but they were racing tight for some strides before that incident due to the shift from both horses. Now, we didn't hold any one rider fully responsible for that, but we did tell Frankie Dettori, whose horse did shift a half a horse under pressure. We did reprimand him, severely reprimand him, and told him that he's got to make a greater effort to keep them straight. But it was very unfortunate for the connections of the hind, but clearly on the video and from the evidence of all the riders that no one rider was fully responsible for that.
We always appreciate your time. Thanks for your cooperation right throughout the Spring Racing Carnival. And just one thing, stop pinching our lollies, will you?
They were very nice too. The rest of the panel wouldn't mind
there you go.
Thanks very much, Pete. I'll tell you what, there won't be many left by the last race.
I'm sure there won't. Des, thanks again.
Thank you. Thanks, Peter.
Des Gleeson joining us here on our Melbourne Cup coverage, and always good to keep sweet with the Chief Steward, Tim.
Absolutely, and he just gleaned that it might have just got a little silly here this afternoon after the Quartermain onslaught up here. We're still recovering.
I'll bet you are.
There's stuff all over the floor. It's unbelievable. Thanks, Peter. Well, you win a Group 1 is fantastic. To win it during Melbourne Cup week is just absolutely sensational. She is a bonny mare, is Bonanova.
They're off and racing now.
Touch the sky. Together we will dance.
Then Nina Haraka as they turn into it.
Amram and Bonanova and Amram, they're going to go to the line and hit it together. Bonanova won
Stop pinching our lollies. Stop pinching our lollies. Stop pinching our lollies.